is very bright.
Hmm?
It's very bright
Oh, yeah.
in my face. Which is weird because it should have switched to like nighttime mode or whatever. Oh, keep me alive. There's that. And play retro. Oh, that's not live. Twitch. Dun 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 dun. Boop.
Okay. Shh. Same. Sleepy same. Twitch. Same.
Okay.
Sleepy same. Twitch. Same.
Is that okay? Trying to. I have us. I think I'm watching us. Ooh. Streamception. Okay. Trying to. I have us. I think I'm watching us. Ooh. Streamception. Okay.
There we go.
So everything's definitely going through. Whew. Let me shut off my ringer and my phone sound and share things for real this time.
Yep. I need to get a new caster for my chair. One of my wheels is just broken.
Oh no.
So like eventually it rotates to the front and then I just like fall forward. So I'm like I was just kicking it around again.
Oops.
It'll be okay. I just need to remember to order it.
Do do do. Place other places. Yawn. Oh, weird.
Ooh. Apparently La Femme and Noir is set to release their new Francis Ford Coppola Bram Stoker's Dracula collection. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
I like pretty dresses. I'm not paying $200 for a pretty dress, though.
Yeah. Okay.
They got a Beetlejuice collection. Corpse Bride collection? Oh,
Oh
God.
my gosh. No way.
This place is going to take all my money, so I must
Haha.
share it.
Alright. I think it's. I don't need to see the message from Theo this minute. And. I can bother there. Alright. Back to our call. Ta da! Get our faces in order.
Yay.
And. Alright. Let me clean my glasses. Start pushing
nice.
buttons. Oh my gosh. I did not put my article back up. I don't think I left it open either. That I found when we were talking about this topic.
Ah.
Oops.
Psst, that back up.
Hijack, loop back, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And push the button.
All right. You can push the button.
We got perspective, we got the cool, we got the muscle, and you know we effing rule. We are the Geek Grills, we are the Geek Grills, alright. We got the know-how, we got control, we got the knowledge, and we tell you how it rolls. We are the Geek Grills, we are the Geek Grills, alright. We are the Geek Grills, we are the Geek Grills, tonight. Hell yeah.
Hi, and welcome to episode 254 of Geek Grills. The Geek Grills podcast is supported primarily by our patrons. You can become a patron at www.patreon.com/grills. I'm Ray, and I'm joined by my co-host Ember. Linda, unfortunately, will not be joining us today, but hopefully we'll be back to the three of us together next week.
Damn you, COVID!
Yeah, she had a good run, but unfortunately, the COVID bug. So today's topic is going to be new and recurring TV for 2023. And before we do that, what have you been up to, Ember?
Well, I also had COVID. At the awesome New Year's event I went to, I caught it. DJ Spider made the funny comment to me that, like, somebody in the Frog Pants community was like, oh, so hopefully the burlesque variant isn't so bad. And I brought that up to DJ Spider, and she's like, oh, we're going to be sneezing glitter? But actually, it was a combination of super mild, because other people I know who also got it at this event, super spreader. It was very mild, like a couple of days of a cold. Basically, it was way less bad than what I had in October. But I also, being high risk, my doctor gave me Paxlovid, so that kicked it out pretty quick. Although, oh my god, a week of isolation was terrible and weird. And I do kind of have some COVID brain, or at least that's what I'm, convincing myself of. So, yeah, I stayed in my room for a week, and my poor husband had to sleep on the couch. Boo. But I binged all kinds of cool stuff and found some cool stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Val Kilmer documentary.
No.
That was super interesting. Having been a fan of his all through his career, I learned an awful lot. And I was wondering what was going on with him, because I hadn't known lately about his health issues he ran into and why he wasn't in the new Willow and stuff. And I learned that and about all kinds of things about him and his family and his whole life. So that was cool. And what else? I don't know. I binged a couple things beginning to end, and now I'm watching Community, and I'm so hooked. Holy crap.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so much fun. I love it. Yeah. And that's something that, like, there was a couple of things, like, my husband isn't interested in watching, and we watch so much stuff together. And I was able to just, dig into some stuff that he didn't give a shit about. I tried to read and I couldn't. That was my first indicator that I had COVID brain. I will take this opportunity to mention to our listeners that when we had our production meeting last week, we did pick our book club book, and book club is next month, and we're reading Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. And I figured, I have to stay in my room for a week. I'll knock that out. Oh, no. Reading is not on the table. Couldn't even... I've got a couple comics I wanted to catch up on. No. I don't know. Just couldn't do it.
This kind of reminds me a lot of when I had... I haven't had it yet, knock on wood. But it kind of reminds me of when I had a pretty big case of pneumonia. for about 2 weeks in college. Like I couldn't do anything. Like the only thing I could do was be on my bed, play video games. I could not read. I couldn't draw. I couldn't focus. And if I got up too quick, my blood pressure just would plummet.
Oh no.
So I would get like I would start to like feel the black come like you're about to pass out and be like, no, 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 no.
Eek.
So
Yeah.
I like God, I hope I don't get it because I don't want to go through that again. That was awful.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy. The Paxlovid mouth, I don't know if you've ever read about that or heard of that, is quite a thing.
So that
Uh,
it changes like does it make it metallic tasting or
it's like this bitter, bitter metallic taste. And for me, it was like an hour or two after I'd take it, and then it would
Mhm.
be for like hours and hours, just this
Oh,
in your mouth taste. It was just yucky.
yeah.
It didn't keep me from like eating or anything, but like just very inconvenient. Although I had these, my husband was smart, and for Christmas in his stocking, I had given him some Haribo honey or not honey, lemon ginger chews, and he brought him up the stairs and put him on my desk and
Oh,
ran away. And he's like, "Try these," and those kind of like, cause they're strong, but that like lemon and ginger and sweet, just kind of put it on a tolerable level for a while. So that
that's
was a
good.
fairly good. I wouldn't call it a remedy, but made it, yeah, tolerable.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to?
Lots. Lots of hospital visits. My mother-in-law is still recovering from the stroke she had before Christmas. And then she caught COVID in the recovery ward. So, I haven't been able to see her, because we also had our own COVID scare. But my husband has been visiting and helping her out, which is great. And then my mom went into the hospital for knee pain and blood pressure issues, and unfortunately is still there currently as well. Um, they hopefully she'll be able to go. I think the PT people gave her as soon as she can walk up and down the hall, like from her room to in the hospital, they will release her. I don't know how mobile she wasn't very mobile when I saw her on Saturday, so or
Mhm.
no, Sunday. So I'm not sure how long that's going to be, but um they figured out her knee is arthritic. And the pain was so bad that was causing her blood pressure to spike and her nausea and a bunch of other things that caused them to reevaluate her heart from the last time she was in October. And found some things like the whole left side of her heart just doesn't pump anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's not great, but kind of just one of those things that I've been mentally preparing for years before this. So we're just gonna keep preparing and take everything as it comes.
There you go.
That's all you can do.
Oh, you can do.
Uh yeah, and unfortunately due to COVID being everywhere, I haven't actually got to see that many friends for the holidays. Some friends that we're gonna try and see for Thanksgiving around Thanksgiving got COVID. Some friends that we usually visit that we're gonna host a Christmas party got COVID, and then at our New Year's party, even though we all tested beforehand.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So, like me and Scott have been dodging that, just like that little Mario going through one of those ridiculous Mario worlds with all the flames everywhere. That's kind of what we feel like.
Well, it's funny too because like this event I went to, I think it was a lot of people, and the ones I know who are like people who mask, people who, you know, have all their vaccinations, and we've been very careful for so long, and this is like I think a bunch of us that finally went to. This is definitely the most populated people in one place event I have been to since 2020. Where because with the seating and everything being close, and I think a bunch of us were just apparently ripe for the picking for the virus, like a lot of first timers. But
Yeah.
bright side, I mean, there are medications now, and we are vaccinated, and so like, nobody I know who just got it from this got hit all that hard. So
Yeah. Like I said, luckily, I don't know anybody who's been hospitalized or anything for this that, even like my mother-in-law who's got it, she like had no symptoms whatsoever.
yeah, I
So,
don't want to lose anybody else to it. That'd be
no,
good.
gosh, no. Um, but we've been catching up on a lot of TV since, can't see that much. So, we're caught up on Chainsaw Man. My Hero Academia is still ongoing. There's a new anime called Akihabara Maid Wars. It's only 12 episodes. It's basically, do you know what a maid cafe is in Japan?
No.
Oh, it's what it says on the tin. It's basically a cafe that you go to, and all everybody there, the hostess, are all dressed up as maids. They refer to you as mistress or master, and they uh, but in this world of Akihabara Maid Wars, uh, being a maid is serious yakuza business. So there are different. They fight each other for territory, like yakuza, like gang war with like guns, and it's just the ridiculous anime that concept like that I especially remember from the 90s of just like really bright and pretty and super moe, but also super violent and ridiculous and
Oh
just
wow.
like and they're all women, and they're all just like, you have come here on my territory, or like there's a schism between the alien maids and the animal maids.
Okay.
So it's like what type of maid you are. It's ridiculous but short, and I do recommend it. I believe it's currently on High Dive. Spy X Family, top tier, definitely recommend on Hulu. So good, so wholesome. And then we finally watched Dragon Age Absolution, which is on Netflix. And as a huge Dragon Age fan, I loved it. It was great. Takes place in Tevinter, post Dragon Age Inquisition. They kind of reference the Inquisition a little, which is neat. And it's kind of getting me hyped up for the next game, which I cannot wait for. But yeah, they go to Tevinter. Uh, it's Tevinter's as terrible as you think it might be, because it's kind of runs on slave labor in the game. So, but there are some very, very good like repercussions that happen. Rise up and beat the masters down. So I'm all about that. Movies. Saw Glass Onion, which is the new
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
freaking fantastic. Saw Gone with the Wind finally. It's terrible. It's trash. I don't know why I wasted 4 hours of my life um, to watch two toxic people get in, like, make all of their problems everybody else's problems during the Civil War,
It's
and
the
then just,
ultimate privileged romance.
oh my God, it is awful. I'm like, she is just the worst. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how anybody can look at this movie and be like, oh, it's so romantic. It's gross. Like the very front intro lines, it's trying to talk about how romantic the Civil War period. It's the last period of knights, and I'm like, this is gross. No, stop it. At least you acknowledge that the war was about slavery, so I'll give you like a half a point for that, as opposed to modern day. Uh, 49th Parallel, which is a World War II. Well, it takes place in World War II. What if the Germans had invaded, like, did a secret invasion into Canada? So it was all right. It wasn't great. It was on that Punch Nazis list that I was going through.
Oh right, right. I
And
forgot about
then
that.
uh, yeah, all the old movies are on HBO Max. So if it's not on HBO, I haven't been able to watch it. I did watch M, which is a Fritz Lang, the same director that did Metropolis. I I loved Metropolis. That was like hands down the best movie that I was forced to watch in college. And M was fantastic as well. Absolutely loved it. It's a serial killer who's targeting children, and just everybody in Germany is like, we gotta do something about it. The underworld gets together and it's like, all right, this has gone on long enough. We're sick of the police being everywhere trying to get this guy. We're gonna take him out. This is
Yeah.
how we're gonna get our lives back. So the murderer uses a very good motif of whistling. Um, shoot, I forgot what the song was. I'm so
Okay.
mad now. But he just whistles this particular song. The King, the Mountain King. Gosh darn it. Anyway, it was very good use of a recurring musical motif, and I think in film it's one of the early ones. So I'm getting caught up on my film history basically still. Also working on embroidery, and I have it over here. I should have moved it closer, but I
Ooh.
did not. Thanks to Linda showed me how to actually do this, so I have progress. Let's see if I can.
This is great for the audio listeners, but
I
let
know.
me.
They can't.
Oh, it's pretty.
have
Yeah, so
in your
it's I'm
mouth
slowly
is art.
stitching in the two chickens. I call them chickens. They're probably something much prettier than that. But to me, it looks like two chickens and a K crest for the Iron Chef costume.
Although your Twitch background or Discord background green screened through it, and that was really weird because then it was suddenly digital green. Like,
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, because it's all green. But I'm very proud of it. It's my first time. I'm impatient. I'm probably not doing it right. I know I'm not doing it right, actually. As soon as I looked at it, I'm like, this is kind of like pointillism. I'm gonna cheat a bit.
there you go.
And oh, my phone just went off. Oh, I think it was a work call. I don't care about you. All right, and I'm trying to think if I got anything else. Oh yeah, I finally bought Chrono Trigger on Steam because I never could. I love Chrono Trigger. I played it originally on the Super Nintendo way back in the 90s. Fantastic JRPG. My boyfriend at the time actually let me borrow his SNES, gave me that game, um, Legend of Mana, and like Aladdin to
Okay.
borrow. But when they released Chrono Trigger on the PlayStation, it was just unplayable. Like the loading times were like minutes long on the game. So the Steam version, they apparently fixed it, and it's even faster than the SNES version. So if you want to go back to Chrono Trigger, it's a good time. And I'm done.
Okay. All right.
Uh, sorry, I kind of. You can tell I haven't had social interaction in a while. I just had to ramble for a bit.
Right.
All right, so focus on our discussion, which is the new and recurring TV. And oh, you got a second one in there. Yay.
Yeah, I found the article I had. I think it's the same one I was looking at before, which is nice because it lists it month by month. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because the original one kind of has dates. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to, especially if you're watching like Star Wars or Marvel or have Disney Plus. You are set for the year.
yeah, it's so like funny if you look for what's coming, what's going to be on TV in 2023, you can really see the world we live in now, where it's like you got to list what streaming service it's on, and what an embarrassment of riches it is specifically for nerds. And I don't know, maybe it's because mine, the article I went to was from Polygon, but
Mhm.
we really
Oh
have so
yeah,
many
'cause
nerd shows.
meanwhile I'm sitting here like still haven't finished Andor. I'm going to. The first episode is kind of dull.
It takes a little while to get into, but I loved the time they took with the characters in it. Really just made it a better show overall than a lot of other,
Yeah, I'm
hurry
gonna
up
try and.
action things that they've been doing.
It was suggested for the upcoming LARP game, so I'm gonna try and make myself sit down and push through it.
More LARP
But
homework.
Yep. Oh no. But yeah, we've got Star Wars: The Bad Batch season 2. I haven't seen season 1, so I don't really have anything for
Okay,
that.
I really liked that show. Whether or not with everything else we're watching we get into it, it's got really neat characters and stuff, but it is for, in my mind, for kids.
Okay.
Like kind of the central driving thing that keeps bringing
Like the
drags you
Clone Wars
through
animated
this
series.
action war hero type thing with that period of time, and Disney, the Disney Channel. This comes out in Disney Plus January 4th, the new season. But there's like this little kid that's kind of the thing that holds them together,
Mm.
and the story focuses there. So I mean, it's, I think that's for Star Wars. Of anything you want to, if you want your littler kids, 8, 10, to introduce them to Star Wars, this might be a good way to do it. Instead of trying to take them straight to the movies.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, next thing we got is Mayfair Witches. So I really liked what AMC did with Interview with the Vampire, the series. So this looks kind of interesting. I could be down for this.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't watch Interview. I'm kind of scared.
no, it's really good. It's really, really good.
It's like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't crazy about any of the movies. Like, I'm kind of good with the books. Um, but I will at some point give it a shot. So Velma's getting her own thing on HBO
Yeah, that
Max in
I'm actually excited
January.
about.
Yeah, especially with she's out now. So that could be
It's
an awesome step for inclusivity and animated stuff.
Oh yeah, it's HBO Max, and this is the version that's going to be starring Mindy Kaling, who is a delight. She's so funny. I love her. So I am excited for that.
Cool. I don't know anything about Breakpoint.
Nope, me neither. Last of Us, I know Scott played that one. I skipped it.
Okay, so this is premiering in HBO Max January 15th, and this is a show based on the game. Huh. That game has a really good story.
It does.
So hopefully they don't cheese on that.
Ooh, Pedro Pascal.
Right?
Okay,
I'm
that's
looking at him
okay.
going, how bad can it
Mm,
be? He does tend to pick really good projects.
yeah, that is true. Also, he's just delightful. Owl House season 3. I think we had just started Owl House. Um, it's an animated show on Disney Plus. But I do like the main character is like this older witch woman. So that's delightful. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot of these I've never heard of, but Mandalorian season 3 is coming in March. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It was way
how
too long waiting for that.
I I probably should try How I Met Your Father. I think I maybe gave it an episode, but apparently it got a second season. I really liked How I Met Your Mother, but
I liked it, but I didn't watch it sequentially. I was watching it in bits and pieces here and there, and I actually never saw the end. But from what I heard, probably it'll just make me mad, so I just never bothered. Um,
yep, that's probably for the best.
yeah, so this came out, and I was like, really? I don't care. I have enough to watch.
I'm kind of wondering if maybe the cast is like, because the cast for How I Met Your Mother was absolutely wonderful.
True.
So I am intrigued by this Poker Face because Natasha Lyonne. Again, I'll watch just about anything she's in. Um, I think the first thing I ever watched was But I'm a Cheerleader, and I got to watch that like maybe a year after it came out. It was perfect for me.
Mm.
The whole section in the movie where it's like, but you wear Birkenstocks and you listen to Indigo Girls. And I'm like, I wear Birkenstocks. I listen to the Indigo Girls. Let's see. Wolfpack, which is apparently the spin-off of Teen Wolf, is coming out. That's gonna be on Paramount Plus. Last, Linda is not here because I think she's our resident Teen Wolf person.
Yeah.
The only Teen Wolf I remember is Michael J. Fox. So,
right? I don't think I ever watched that either.
Lockwood and Company.
I
I
heard
don't
a
know that
lot
one.
about this Yellow Jackets thing, and I haven't gotten around to it. And that's getting a second season. So I guess that's a good indicator that it's probably worth checking out the first one. It's about all I got there. Oh, you know what's probably not in here because it just got announced the other day that I definitely want to mention is Wednesday
Yes.
is going to get a second season. Now, I don't know that nobody knows when exactly yet, but there was a little kerfuffle because of the property shifting from one place to another, so they didn't know if Amazon was going to be ending up producing it and if it would move from Netflix. But it was announced the other day that Netflix does have season 2 plans for it. So I want to make sure that
Awesome.
came up. Yes. How
Well,
could you
no,
not?
season 2 of Vikings Valhalla, which I have some friends that are very into Vikings, and the Vikings Valhalla is apparently like the new generation of Viking adventures. So I
I know
really should
so
give
many
that a
people.
shot.
That's another one a lot of my friends were really into that I never got around to.
As somebody who played a Viking character for 4 years, I really should give it a shot.
Maybe you'll be overcritical. Maybe you...
I don't know. These people are my friends that are into it are like history nerds, so I think they have a little bit more to approach
Oh,
it
okay.
from.
Yeah, that's a good indicator.
Yeah, the history nerd friends are enjoying it. So, Star Trek Picard season 3,
Yes.
which is awesome. I should really get caught up on that. Carnival Row season 2. Wow, I thought that was only going to be a one
I
season
thought so too, and I
because
really
it was
liked
just so
that.
long.
It's so yeah, it was nice and dark.
Yeah,
And
of course,
Loki, more
Loki.
Loki.
Yep. And Harley Quinn. There's a very problematic Valentine's Day special.
Yeah, it's just a
Hopefully,
special though. It's not another season, which I'm a little concerned about. But I also there was another chatter I heard today on a different program from somebody who works with people who animate on that. Um, and there's apparently some other spin-offy things in the works for
excellent.
the Harley and Ivy stuff. So we're at least getting a special, and I'll be keeping my eyes out for what else is going to happen.
A birthday special for me, most likely. It's the one benefit of being an almost Valentine baby.
Free
Let's see.
presents.
Shadow and Bones season 2. I didn't watch it. So can't really comment myself.
Oh, me neither. Oh, but I'm seeing for the first time about Ironheart. So
Yes.
we got to finally meet Ironheart in Black Panther. And I gotta tell you, when we went to see Wakanda Forever, my husband he's like more of a Marvel nerd than I am. I'm a little more DC, and he was just like, oh my god, it's Ironheart. Like he immediately knew what was happening there, and it took me a little, and boy, I loved it. That character. So apparently expected on Disney Plus in late 2023. There's going to be an Ironheart show, and that's a great place to put that character instead of just having her show up in a movie once in a while, because that arc is really interesting what I do know of it, and giving it its time.
Yeah, I do love the Marvel like mini series that we've been getting. And I'm also excited. I'm actually kind of excited for Secret Invasion. I thought by this point I would also be marveled out, but I want to see where we're going.
I feel
So,
like they're finally getting their legs under them for TV. Like
mhm.
for the longest time the MCU, like they had the movies down and DC was doing way better TV.
Yep. As
And
long as we,
now
yeah, as long as you don't ever watch the Killing Joke movie. Just get the book. The movie's trash. The book is way better. The graphic novel's fantastic. Riverdale season 7. I fell off Riverdale way ago. It's just CW
yeah,
ridiculousness.
I never got into Riverdale. Although I watched all of Sabrina, I just could not get into Riverdale.
I didn't even finish Sabrina, which was a shame because I was really looking forward to it.
I think I just enjoyed the absurdity way more. Riverdale was so like, I don't know, like watching a teen drama more than Sabrina was because I don't know. It took
Yeah.
itself too seriously, I think, for my taste.
Walking Dead fans, you got Dead City coming. So that should be good. That should conclude a final season for The Walking Dead.
I fell off of that. I think I watched 3 or 4 seasons and haven't watched any since.
Yeah, again, I think that was another one I struggled to get through season 1. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of friends who absolutely love it, so I'm happy for them. And then we also got season 3 of The Witcher.
Yes. Which I'm
Very
looking forward
cool.
to, despite all the weird naysayers freaking out about casting situations. I have mixed feelings about Agatha. Coven of Chaos is coming. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's not the spinoff I wanted.
Here for it, but I'm here for any kind of witchy time, so
Yeah, but I
I
loved
want
what
to know
Wanda
where it
was doing.
goes.
I feel like people just liked it feels like a jumping on the bandwagon, like they're making it because Agatha got memed. I don't know. I'll
don't know,
definitely
'cause-
give it a shot. I mean, I like that actress. And, it is witchy stuff.
Yep. But something I'm sure we'll both be on board for, Good Omens season 2.
Yes.
So ready.
Oh, so ready. Always ready for more gaming.
Yep. I'm here for that. I'm interested in the Echo, which is Echo, who briefly appeared in the Hawkeye miniseries, is getting her own. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Looking
another good
forward to
one.
that.
And Ahsoka, I'm definitely going to watch Ahsoka.
X-Men 97. Oh, I I feel like that's mandatory, kind of like that's such nostalgia for me. Like that was my first X-Men. Like I remember watching that show, loving it, and going to my comic store and just being overwhelmed because they had so many different X-Men's, and I'm like, I just wanted the X-Men. Where's
Yeah.
Storm?
It's one of
Where's
those,
Storm?
like, really hard to...
It was hard to jump
somebody
into
new
the
to comics at all, and you're like... They ask you where to start, and it's like... Because they've all heard of X-Men, so you want to send them there, but then... Woo! That's a lot of timeline, so it's a little weird to choose a tiny little slice like that. Especially
Yeah,
when they've already got so much out in the MCU that this is going to be completely different from, right? I don't know.
Yeah, like this is old school, but like yeah, I definitely remember just being overwhelmed. I think I finally just grabbed a comic. I know which one I grabbed. I still have it, I think. But it was just the Uncanny X-Men,
Hmm.
but it was Jubilee and like way in the future, and I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, "Where's Storm?"
Well, I do know from playing Marvel Snap that there's been a real popularity of, like, there are card variants you can get, and there are a lot of people very attached to these 90s variant, at least art style wise.
Yeah.
And so that could definitely be, kind of contributing to this.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
a neat surprise. On Hulu in 2023, new Futurama.
Wow, again.
20
Okay.
new episodes.
All right, I'll take that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't know. Okay. I'm definitely going to watch that.
Yeah,
But
no,
most of the main cast is going to be in it looks like, so.
excellent. Also animated on HBO Max 2023, Clone High. It was kind of also another like 2000s animated. I want to say it was originally on MTV. Actually missed it. I think I was in college at the time. Which between college and WoW, I don't really remember much else.
That was enough to do. Vox Machina season 2 is expected this year on Prime Video.
It's
I'm
about the only way I'm ever going to be able to catch up on any of the Critical Role. It's just so much.
right. There is too much,
It's
especially
good.
ever since 2020. Like, I don't listen to podcasts, and I don't have time for that kind of absorbing that much content of somebody else's game if I want to play anything of my own. But Vox Machina was delightful.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and probably, not going to be subject to the Open Game License 1.1. Go to hell. I think we need to do a show about that next month after a little of the fallout, and creator feedback comes in. But I am angry.
I had to say,
And
I
I'm
think
sure
I
Critical
just saw
Role is
some
big enough to
stuff.
make some kind of deal, but fuck Hasbro right now. All right, but anyway, they don't mention anything particular to D&D in that, so Vox Machina should be safe.
Yeah. Let's see. If you're a fan of The Boys, and you don't already know, they're doing a spin-off called Gen V, which looks to be just as messy and outrageous as The Boys, so I'm here for that.
Totally.
Oh my gosh, yep. Never Have I Ever. Severance. I need to watch that. Scott has watched that, and I've seen like tiny slivers, but it's just this really weird office. But when you go to the office, you like don't remember anything about the outside world, so it's like a different personality almost. I really need to watch all of it, but I am looking forward. I'm glad it got a second season because there seems I want to know what's going on. It's got that early Lost like I have to figure out what the frick is going on here.
Right? And it's a really big year for Trek. I mean, you mentioned Picard, but apparently this year we're going to get a new season of Discovery, Lower Decks, Prodigy, Strange New Worlds, and
Yes.
along with the apparently final season of Picard. But, man, Strange New Worlds. I still can't figure out what the kerfuffle is about. Like, I heard there was a kerfuffle about people hating the way it ended. But all I can decipher is that, people were mad that he was weak and sensitive or some ridiculous thing. But then other people were saying, well, it illustrates why, Kirk had to be there for that other incident later on in TOG. I'm like, oh my God, calm down. This is such good Trek.
It really is.
You all need to calm down.
Okay. Only Murders in This Building, which is on Hulu, got a season 3, so I really need to get into that. I keep seeing it and I keep being like, I need to watch it.
That's something a couple of months ago I binged the shit out of. I got in and I couldn't get out, and I stayed up late a few days in a row and watched fucking all of it. I like Martin Short better than I ever had. I like him now. I didn't really he kind of just annoyed me before. Um, and yeah, Steve Martin, of course, a genius still. There was so much in that is so good. I highly recommend that. I recommend that and look forward to another season.
Excellent. Yeah, one of my good friends, when she was down with COVID, also just binged that whole thing. She's like, this is so good.
And of course, the meta of it, being a podcast. Because at first I was like, is this going to annoy me? Because are they taking our thing and then they're all famous. They get to write something, just put it on TV about it. But it's not that. It is just an interesting device to bring it into current day. Unlikely people talking to each other because they end up liking the same podcast and find out this happens in real life now.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, what's a podcast? And somebody else is like, oh, it's like this. And you're like, oh my God, you listen to that. And all of a sudden you can all be friends instead of having an argument.
I think the last of the Marvel that we haven't really talked about is the What If season 2, which I did like What If season 1, and there were little things that they kind of in the movies kind of foreshadowed. So I loved it. I'm excited for another season. Also, it was just beautifully animated.
Oh, yeah. All those. Oh, wait. Am I thinking of the same one where it had a different style, each one? Um,
Uh, I
what
have
did
a
I think
different
of? There were these
story.
shorts that were out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and we
I.
didn't mention Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Oh no, I totally skipped that one.
And that's another one that, like, Marvel Snap is all over. Like, this is a cross promotional thing. But I never even heard of those characters before in my life. I have a Moon Dinosaur deck. Two of them. I have Dino Moon and Double Dino in my Marvel Snap game. And then I go in to do research for the show, and I'm like, well, there they are right there. I guess I'll find out what the deal is. And they do apparently go together in story, which I didn't know either. Just I knew
Huh.
that their tactics work together because Devil Dinosaur is a card where you get power gain for how many cards you have in your hand. And Moon Girl is something that like just copies everything in your hand, so it doubles whatever you have. And they're both high, like 4 and 5 costs. So you're at the end of your game, but all of a sudden you can like double what would have been in your hand to, yeah. So anyway, everybody's gonna actually get the opportunity to find out what the story is, and that is being released on February 10th. And of course, that's gonna be Disney Plus because it's Marvel.
Yep. And then we've got True Detective, Night Country on HBO Max. Yeah, the True Detectives are kind of like each season seems to be kind of its own whole story thing. So I'll probably give this a shot and see where it's going. Apparently, also Christopher Eccleston is in it from
Ooh,
Doctor Who.
I
So that'll.
dig him. He's one of my favorite doctors, actually. Oh no, you know what? The thing
Oh,
I was thinking of that was the vignettes is the Star Wars visions.
okay.
That
Yeah, because I'm like,
was
I
all the
thought they had a
shorts that
pretty.
were different styles. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
is a completely different thing.
I thought would have had a pretty consistent art style. It's like a little different, but
Yeah, no, no.
uh,
Star Wars Visions is getting a volume 2 as well in the spring, and that one was like individual little stories, and they each had a different animation style um, that we really liked. Like, oh, seeing a from a different point of view. Some were like, it's always interesting to get a somebody just made up a character, but it's in that universe, and you get a little more dark side, like people's motivation type thing, but they tell it in short, easy to digest bites.
awesome. And then my weebs, I have not forgotten about you, my fellow anime nerds. The Vash, the new Trigun, has just released on Hulu. I'm going to start with the '90s revival stuff because as somebody who peaked her anime in the '90s, Rurouni Kenshin, um, which excited about despite problematic creator. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, so hopefully the end of that. Uh, FLCL, Furry Curry Grunge. I did not see the second Furry Curry, but I am kind of intrigued on this.
Furry curry. It's
Uh,
sounds funny.
Furry Curry is great. If you haven't seen the original, from like is it 99 or 2000, I do recommend. It's Gainax. It's just weird, off the wall. It's very short. It's like 6 episodes. So we've got uh Moshka, Shuka Kaizen, Jobless Reincarnation Season 2. Main character gets better, but he is gross initially. So I do want to see, like, Season 1 ended, and he was kind of growing and being less gross, so hopefully that will continue with Season 2. Ultraman Final Season for you Ultraman fans. I'm gonna go pretty quick through
Yeah, I
this.
was gonna say Ultraman. I at least have heard of, but I feel like I need to know if the masterful cat is depressed again today is worth watching because I love that idea. Sometimes the heroes
Oh,
gets me, or just the title gets me.
The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. Okay, I've been waiting for this, so I have to get caught up. Again, another ridiculous premise where basically Satan gets it, like, from another world, gets trapped in our world, and gets a job at McDonald's. But it's not McDonald's for copyright obvious reasons. So, let's see if there's anything else.
The
that's
Klutzy Witch
particularly-
looks adorable.
Oh, that sounds cute. Spy X Family season 2. Yep. 1,000 Year Blood War just ended, but season 2 will be or part 2 will be released in the summer, which is the Bleach revival. For like seriously, guys, it is worth watching a YouTube video to catch up on whatever you missed from Bleach, and to jump right into this. The animation is gorgeous. It's so good. It reminds you why you enjoyed Bleach when back in the 2000s or
Ooh,
2010s.
okay, cool.
Like
I did like
that was
Bleach.
definitely one of the series I really liked. Ooh, Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. I like your title. I know nothing about you. I like shoujo.
The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess is about, despite her supposed ineptitude with regular magic, Princess Anastasia defies the aristocracy's expectations by developing magicology, a unique magical theory based on memories from her past life. So, that sounds neat.
Oh, Konosuba is getting its own, I guess, a spinoff. Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World. Again, Konosuba is a good anime, really ridiculous. It's like somebody's D&D party, and they just kind of very Slayers-esque. Slayers was a 90s D&D fantasy thing. Konosuba just kind of is more of the modern day equivalent of that. Very funny. So that'll be cool. And Nier automated version 1.1a for the Nier fans. I already talked about Trigun, and I'm sure most of the stuff is coming back for season 2 that came out this previous year. And I am at 5 minutes, so I gave myself 5 whole minutes to read out.
I should have asked my son. I didn't catch in the notes that you're going to talk about anime, and I should have asked what his top ones were, because my middle son, the 21-year-old, he is like the anime expert in the house. He knows all of this, and he tells me what I would like, so that helps.
I did start watching, so I had read Parasite back in the 90s when it came out, so I finally started watching the anime, because that's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tokyo Mew Mew,
We
new
watched
season. That. I should let Linda know, as that is again another Magical Girls.
Gotcha. Ooh, Agretsuko. Wait, I just saw it. Agretsuko. Where is it? I scrolled past. I was about to close this, and then I saw. I do love Agretsuko. Season 5. Yay! Confirmed.
Yep. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 also confirmed.
Okay. Oh, and Way of the House Husband.
Yes.
That's another one I like. Cool. Good to know.
All right.
I'll have to tell my husband. He also likes both of those. So.
All right. Cool. So I think that gets us pretty much caught up.
We have so much, and it's embarrassment of riches. Holy
so if you
crap.
Get ill, you know, or if you just want to take some time for yourself, there is much to offer between all the streaming services and your TV right now, or this upcoming year. If we missed anything that you're really excited about, chime in, let us know. Email us at geekgrills@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at geekgrills. So, Grills, what are you most anticipating right now, Ember?
I am looking forward to leaving my house. Because that's awesome, although I already did today. Because, like, this was a note from yesterday, and I hadn't really left my house yet. But now I can leave my house, and I can go play D&D with people in public. I'm looking forward to reading. Hopefully my COVID brain continues to fade, because I went to my LCBS, and I got Miracle Man. Although they had number 3, they are tracking down 1 and 2, because somehow I missed that game and was putting Miracle Man back out. And, of course, starting in on our book club book.
Yep.
Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, which I've been promised is excellent by people that I trust. So, what else? Oh, karaoke. Running karaoke Friday night. We had to cancel 2 gigs last weekend. Ouch. because of, not wanting to risk anyone else's health. And the biggest thing this week, I think, is my co-host from Part-Time Gamers, Theo, is in Charlotte, which is really near me, for work, doing some training. And so I'm going to go and actually hang out with him in real life in person. He was I met him on America's Next Top Podcaster. He was on my first team.
Yay!
And now we're going to get to meet real life in person. So.
Awesome.
What about you?
God's Guardians of Destiny, the LARP that me and Linda both play in, is doing a special Clockworking Revolution event this weekend. So think French. It's very French Revolution. Clockworking are kind of automated robots, androids kind of thing.
Okay.
Created specifically with a task. So in this setting, they're kind of just seen as servants or tools. So instead, we're going to have a revolution, and there are rumors of a guillotine and possible, I just learned this word, defenestration, because we're also supposed to be on a airship. So I'm sure there'll be borders and we can toss people overboard. Ha-ha!
Right on.
As we rise from the oppressors. So that will also be kind of therapeutic, I'm sure.
Totally. Well, remember, folks, you can always come watch us record live at twitch.tv/geekgrills on most Monday evenings. Our next one on January 16th is going to be our game night, and we're going to be playing Heave Ho.
All right. And in addition to the subs and bits that we get on Twitch, we are supported by our amazing patrons. You're the greatest girlfriends on the internet. You can become a patron at www.patreon.com/grills. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub to us for free every month on Twitch. Or if you have Amazon Gaming and you don't have Prime, that's fine.
What?
Oh,
Do you get a
Amazon
free
Gaming,
Prime sub with that too? Or a
I
free
think
Twitch sub?
I think so. I think if you have
We'll have to look into that.
the Amazon Gaming now.
I'll find that info. So another way to show your support is by leaving us a review. Go to Apple Podcasts or whatever catcher you have. You can put a star, write a review. That would be even better. They're a little harder to find these days, but I find them and will read them when I can do that. And you can also check out what topics we're going to do in the next month on our schedule below on our Twitch page. And if you're a patron, suggest a topic for us. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear your ideas.
Where can we find you on the interwebs?
I can be found at 9of12.com.
Right. You can find Linda under madcap_miss on Twitch and Instagram. And you can check out her website, www.madcapm.com. And you can find me on Instagram under DappleDame. I'll post something eventually for this year.
It's early yet.
It's still early. Thank you for listening, everyone. Good game.
GG.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Okay. Whew. I gotta find a way to turn my monitor down, but I'll stop our stream first. We got